This podcast was recorded on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation.
Guys, welcome back to another week of Mad About You.
Of what?
Mad About You.
Mad.
You know, sometimes
Mad about.
you annoy me so much in the week, I want to change the name of the pod because I'm not mad about you.
Mad. Mad
Just at you.
at you.
Yeah,
I was
nice.
trying to find
We
the
got there.
middle word and I just couldn't get there. Hey guys, welcome back. It's
Guys,
nice to have you.
Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, it means a lot that you choose to be here with us. Now, like last week on the pod, we thought we'd keep it a little bit lighter this week in recent weeks where we had a few serious episodes. So Jad asked you guys to write in with some of the pettiest reasons that you'd ended a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
Now, some of these I kind of see where people are coming from, and then some of them are just, you guys are absolutely rogue.
We did ask for petty.
Yeah, and some of them are definitely that. Now, at the end of the episode, as always, our Ask Mum and Dad segment comes from a girl seeking advice about dealing with things that happened whilst her and her boyfriend technically weren't together. So stick with us for all that. But before we get into
giving
our
Ross and Rachel.
little petty things, something happened to me literally yesterday, which I just wanted to share with you guys because
What happened?
I want you guys to always trust your gut. And, you know, don't do the wrong thing because it'll bite you in the butt. So essentially yesterday, our car ran out of rego back in May, but we have another car, so we hadn't needed to use it, yada, yada, yada. But I needed to go and register the car because we were going to need it. And so it had been unregistered for it's like 6 weeks now. I booked in like a safety check because it's a 2006 car, so it needs to be, checked every year that
Pink slip.
it's roadworthy. I believe it's got a blue slip now. I don't even.
Is it?
Yeah.
I keep changing the colour.
My mechanic's out in Haberfield, so a little bit from us, but essentially I went out to this mechanic, and you're allowed to drive an unregistered car to obviously get the safety check, otherwise how do you get it? And then got the safety check, and I was sitting in the car. I drove it just around the corner, sat on the side of the road, and I had to get all the insurance and register the car and stuff before I drove it home. So I'm sitting there, I get CTP insurance from NRMA, and I'm like, great, it's done, safety check. And I get third-party insurance as well. I was like, cover it, in case, Jad's in the car with Fletch and they get broken down somewhere, and I got roadside assistance, yada, yada, whatever. So I go on to Service New South Wales and I go to register the car, and it says the e-safety check has cleared for the car, but the CTP insurance hasn't. It could take up to an hour, bear with us. And I was like, okay, I don't without the CTP, I can't register the car, which means I technically can't drive it home. So I was like, I'm just going to sit here. So I sat for about 45 minutes waiting, refreshing the page over and over and over. It never came through. And I was like, that's a bit annoying. I then get a message from the NRMA saying, call us regarding your CTP. Like there's an issue. And I was like, here we go. So I get on the phone to them and they say, essentially, there's been an issue. You chose a new CTP slip, and it's not. It's a renewal because you already had the car. And I was like, I just chose new because it's a new number plate because I had to re-register the vehicle after it hadn't been registered for a while. So I said, my bad. And they said, we're actually not sure, you've already paid for it and stuff, so we're not sure if we can just swap it over or if you'll have to do a whole new thing. So bear with us. I need to get support involved and it could take a little while. And so they said it could take up to half an hour. At this stage, I'd been waiting 45 minutes and I was like, I really need to get home. I got work to do. I need to help Jad with Fletch, yada, yada. So I texted Jad and I was like, hey, I'm kind of sitting here waiting, but I was like, I shouldn't really drive home. The car's not registered. I'm waiting for the CTP. And she was like, yeah, probably best you don't. And then I was just like, stuff it. I'm going to drive home. So I'm on the phone to the NRMA the whole time. It's 40 minutes now. I'm driving home. And they're trying to sort it out on their end. So I haven't been able to register the car. I'm driving home. I'm driving up over this overpass and I drive past a highway patrol car and I'm just praying, I'm going, please don't. And I drive past and it's all good.
They run your plates, right?
Well,
or
I think they
have a
actually
radar.
have some form of radar system that just runs your plates.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
I was like, this is going to be annoying. Nothing goes off. I'm all good. I drive past this guy and I'm on the phone still to the NRMA trying to sort this problem out. So I'm like, this is funny. I then drive for about 3 minutes and then I'm driving over another overpass and I hear the sirens behind me. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, hopefully not me. I'm just praying. And my heart is racing at this point. I don't know if I said it, I think in a previous pod, I'm like, I'm a very law-abiding citizen. I don't like doing the wrong thing. I don't like cops, like they just freak me out even though like I haven't done anything wrong. At this time I was kind of doing something wrong, so
I have to look
sense.
under the bed before we go to sleep to see if there's any cops hiding there.
Classic, coming from the girl who's literally scared of the dark. Okay, so the cop pulls up behind me and I'm like, oh my God, it's me. Instantly, I start racing through my mind.
That's such a yuck feeling.
Yeah, I'm literally driving an unregistered car. That's like a $2,000 fine. Could be like a loss of license. I was like, this is the worst. He pulls up beside me, puts down his window, insinuates I should put down mine. I put down my window. He like yells at me with like this stern, it was like he was my principal and he was like, take the first left after the next bridge. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, of course, no worries. So here I am driving now. It's like I couldn't pull over. So it's like 2 minutes of this cop tailing me. I pull over.
And then you're driving at like 40 as well because you're so scared.
I'm driving. I'm still on the phone to the NRMA. Like the NRMA has heard me talking to the cop out the window. They're going, you all right, sir? I'm like, yeah, just keep doing the thing. Like, try and get this done. So I'm pulling over and the guy's like, okay, I think we've sorted your CTP. And I was like, yeah, cool. I gotta go. The guy's walking to my car.
You're also driving on the phone.
Yeah, the guy's walking to my car. I hang up and then he comes to my window and he goes, you know you're driving an unregistered vehicle, sir? And I'm like, mate, he goes, where are you coming from? And I said, you're not going to believe me. I literally am on the way home from doing the e-safety check. I've just been on the phone at the NRMA for about an hour and a half. I've got CTP. I've got third party. I've just need to register my car. And he was like, yeah, all right. And he goes, show me the paperwork. And I was like, okay, well, I have it because I just came from there. So I gave him the paperwork. And then he was like, well, you haven't registered the car. So you obviously don't have insurance. And I was like, okay, yep, I understand that. But I do, and I had to literally pull up my emails of like my receipts from buying the insurance.
Yeah.
And I had to show him the phone log of like, I was like, here's me on the phone to the NRMA. The call ended a few minutes ago. Luckily, he didn't really look at the time and realize it was right now.
I think it only shows you the start time.
Yeah, I was like, I've been on them, like the phone for them for 45 minutes. Like I've done everything I can. I was like, I just need to get home to my wife and kid, like I know I'm doing the wrong thing, And he kind of like looked over all the emails, all the like timestamps, like I'd paid for all the insurance and stuff. And he went over and then like he just flipped. He was like really harsh the whole time. And then he was like, okay, I obviously see you're trying to do the right thing here. So he goes, maybe register your car a bit earlier next time. And I was like, yeah, man, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, I don't need you to give me the extra spray. But he like very nicely was like, you're all good. Like head home, make sure you get it done. And like, maybe do it earlier next time. And I was like, yep, cool. Thank God.
Oh, lucky
But
ass.
Jad and I, like we were sitting on the side of the road when I was doing it. And I said to her, I was like, I probably shouldn't leave because like on the off chance I get pulled over or something happens, it's a big fine, loss of license. Like I shouldn't do it. And then half an hour later, I was like, stuff this, I'm doing it.
What are the chances?
And so, yeah, just a note to always trust your gut. Don't do the wrong thing because it could bite you in the butt. And I got lucky, but that is a hefty fine and a loss of license.
Yeah,
so
you did get lucky.
Yeah, I did get very lucky. And
he was in a good mood, or he didn't want to do any paperwork.
Yeah. No, well, I think he actually saw that I was trying to do the right thing. Like I'd bought all the insurance. It wasn't like I was like trying to be dodgy. Yeah. Like
you'd like to hope that there's just a bit of like room for, wiggle room for normal human, not error, but like, understanding, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
And I got some, which is nice. And so I like police. Nice people. I'll be really excited I'll be really excited next time the siren comes on behind me. No, but that's my little story. I was in a bad mood. I thought it was going to go downhill, and then it ended nicely for me, which was really good.
Maybe the meaning of the story is really that you should take the risk.
Yep.
Because it paid off.
It didn't pay off. It just didn't not pay off.
All right. Well,
it definitely didn't pay off. All right, guys. So enough about me. Let's get into the pettiest reasons that you've broken up with someone. Now, the reason why we thought this one would be a good idea is that
that Locke tried to break up with me over something petty.
It wasn't petty. You were just a nut job. Joking, guys. She wasn't. Nah, so the reason why we thought this would be a fun topic is that a friend of mine once told me the reason why he broke up with this girl who he was dating. And he said that she was like smoking good looking. They got on really well. She was an entrepreneur. She had her own business. She had heaps of people hired. Like she was doing really well for herself. She was really attracted. He said they got along like a house on fire. And then he said that he didn't like her accent. And I was like, So literally every box is ticked. Like she's a 10 out of 10 and then you just don't like listening to her talk. And he was like, I know it sounds bad, but he's like,
because it is bad.
He's like, I just can't like bear listening to her talk with the accent. Like it's not for me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is such a shame and such a petty reason to sort of, break up with someone. And
I'm sure there were other reasons. Like,
no, this is literally it.
oh, God.
Yeah, I think it was his 10 out of 10. But
Right.
I think it was a South African accent, if I remember correctly.
And it was too, what was it, too
I don't know,
strong?
too heavy,
like he
yeah,
couldn't
too strong.
understand?
No, not understand. I think he just didn't like it, which is, it's just a weird one. But that's sort of, gave us the idea for the episode.
What's the pettiest reason you've left someone?
Oh, I don't think I've had... I mean, not petty. I just remember going on like 1 or 2 dates with this girl, and this sounds bad, but she was just so boring. Like it was so
That's
hard.
not petty.
It was so hard to have a conversation with her.
No, that's not petty.
Like she wouldn't give anything back. There was no like cheekiness, no banter.
That's
She wouldn't ask any
warranted.
questions, and I was just like, man, I can't do this again.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only.
Yeah, that's warranted.
Otherwise, they've been like regular breakups for
Yeah.
regular reasons.
Yeah.
What about you? Anything?
We would, same, like a couple of dates, but he just had bad breath, like really bad. Is
Like,
that petty?
You didn't want to smooch
Or is
him?
that a valid reason? No, yeah, I didn't want anything to do with
I mean,
his
you
mouth.
could have told him and then
No.
said, chew some gum and
No,
brush your teeth.
No, we did not know each other well enough for me to say you've got stinky breath.
Why didn't you just say, hey, let's go and brush our teeth together or something? And then see where the night takes us?
No, I just wasn't bothered. I was like, no, I don't like this. I can't. He was so smelly.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. If you like getting close to someone and their stench is turning you off, you don't
Yeah.
want to smooch
Like
them
I
or something.
literally just wanted to turn my head every time he faced me to talk. It was so uncomfy.
Yeah, it'd be tough to get any.
I don't even know if that's petty. I feel like that's pretty valid.
It's valid-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're dating someone for a while, you could just let them know, right?
No, it was like 2 dates.
But what if he was like the guy?
He wasn't. Unfortunately, you are.
Classic.
Let's get into yours, guys. The first one says, the pettiest reason I've left a relationship is because his sister got married in Bali with 10 people in attendance. My parents are super traditional of Middle Eastern background and expect me to have a large 300 plus person wedding with Lebanese traditions and a church for sure. Once my parents found out that this boy's sister's wedding was overseas, I got invited. Definitely not allowed to go, as traveling before marriage is a big no-no. They forced me to break up with him as they couldn't have non-tradition being brought into this household and didn't want to have me influenced by their lack of it. Unbelievable. I was super young at the time and pretty much controlled by what they wanted, but looking back, he was such a good guy and is now in a new relationship. That's so sad. That's not even their fault, though.
Yeah, so this one I wrote back to this lovely lady and I said, look, I'm actually just curious about this topic in general, whereby, young kids feel like their parents have this big controlling say sort of in their future, whether it's love and relationships. And I know that's a cultural thing and some cultures are fine by it and the kids are fine with it, but also some aren't. Like she's said, like, it was really annoying and like this guy was a great guy and now he's in a relationship and, And so I asked her, I said, look, like have things changed since this happened? Like have you grown up sort of and you're more confident to make your own decisions now, or are you still sort of, under the rule of your parents? And she said that she still lives with her parents. So she says they actually still, have this sort of control over. And she said, I have grown in the fact that she goes, I know like what cultural traditions I sort of want to keep myself and what means something to me. But she goes, I would be more than happy to date outside of my culture and religion. But she goes, I just wouldn't tell my parents about it.
Sure.
And I'm like, well, that, I understand that and good on you for like having a backbone and doing your own thing. And also 100% respect, like if you're under your parents' roof, like, and they have certain, rules and stuff, like you either abide by them, I guess, or move out, like they're your options. But, I just thought it was like, I don't know, it feels like such a shame that, this person's like chance at love or, happiness, I guess, with the person.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't even him, it was her sister's wedding. Like, just because it's her sister's wedding doesn't mean that he
would have
might
had
want
to
do
that,
the same thing. Or even if they one day got married and she said, hey, I really want to have a, Lebanese wedding in a church and these traditions. And he might have been, yeah, no worries with me. Like
and she also couldn't go to the wedding.
Yeah, so it seems like...
Which would have been nice, I reckon.
Yeah, I just thought it was like an interesting talk. So we had a little back and forth about it, and she said that, she's open to it now and more confident to make those decisions. But then I also felt like it's a bit strange, right, that you'd be in a relationship but feel that you have to hide it from your parents, you know? Like
A
family...
lot of people do.
Family is such a big thing for most people, and it's like part of being in a relationship is like integrating them into your family, right? And that's the really fun part. Like, you know, I'm sure you would probably agree, like, you know, sitting around my dinner table with like all the siblings and all the partners, like it's a laugh, you know,
but
and it's
not
great.
everyone
And
gets that. Not everyone has that.
yeah, I know, I understand, but I'm just saying, I feel like that would be such a shame to have to hide your relationship from your family. Like, I feel like you would never truly get to enjoy it or embrace it, or like, you know, it would always be in the back of your mind, like you're being sneaky or deceitful to the other people that you love in your life, and it is such a tricky one. Yeah, so. Yeah, and a tough one to start with, but yeah, a petty reason that you broke up because the sister had a wedding overseas.
Well, and really, it wasn't even your fault. Yeah, well, your reason was your parents.
Yeah, but still a petty reason nonetheless. And you never know. Maybe the world will bring you two back together one day. Jad and I split up for 2.5 years, so don't forget. It's all possible.
It was a nice break.
All right, cool. We can have another one, mate. I'd love one. Fletch and I will just head off, have a few weeks.
No, Fletch and I will head off.
All right.
And I'm taking the new one.
Oh, good luck. All right, next story. Says, I once started dating a guy who I thought was super attractive and nice, so everything seemed fine. But when we finally had a meal together, I realized he held his fork and knife in the worst way possible, as if he was never taught how to eat. I just couldn't imagine myself seeing somebody, let alone getting super serious with someone who didn't have at least some semblance of table manners. I never did tell him the truth about why things didn't work out. Just said I didn't see it going any further. No hard feelings, and hey, the guy is engaged now and seems super happy, so that's good, but I couldn't deal with how he ate.
That's so hectic.
I'm confused. Are people just not having conversations anymore? Like, why couldn't you just say, like, hey...
How do you tell someone how to have basic manners?
Well, just say, like, hey, you hold your cutlery like a Neanderthal. Like, maybe we should...
You can't say that to someone you're dating. Like, it's fresh, it's early, you're hiding the parts of you that are bad. So are they, or they're trying to. Not very well, clearly. You can't just come out and say, hey, you're doing this thing that's like kind of annoying me but doesn't really affect anything.
Wait, so you're...
You know what I mean?
You sort of, but you're saying that when you start dating someone, you hide all the bad shit, rope them in, and then when you've roped them in and they're attached, then you just unleash all the bad shit.
It's all a bit of manipulation.
Oh, wow. You know this is like a relationship pod. You probably shouldn't be saying that.
No, I'm joking, sort of. I think there's a bit of a game to start.
Don't you think it would be better, though,
we
if we were all
don't go to the
just...
toilet in front of each other on day one. Like, that's not happening.
I'd be
you
fine
work up to that.
I'd be fine if you didn't go to the toilet in front of me now.
You work up to the burping. You work up to the, I don't like what you're wearing. You know, you work up to that. You don't do it on day one.
Sure. I appreciate that.
And if you get the ick from the knife and fork and you can't move past it, that's just how it is.
Yeah, but when you start by saying really attractive, super nice, everything was great...
Yeah, but all those things go out the window as soon as someone's holding their cutlery like it's a pencil and they're in year 6.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be worth going like, hey, you know, after year 6 we hold it a bit different and like showing them
No,
and then you get to still be with
I
the
wouldn't.
really nice, really attractive person that now holds his fork well.
I wouldn't.
You just sack it off.
Yeah, maybe.
Holy moly. No wonder why the dating market's fried. People
Or
don't
if
wanna
I
be
was
honest.
really into them, I would just push through. And then when you get to the comfy stage, I'd go, hey, look, I need to teach you how to use your knife and fork because this is just not going to cut it when we go to nice restaurants.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you'd either persevere or it's at a point where
How long till you can have that conversation?
It depends. Every relationship's different. Some people get there in 3 weeks. Some people don't get there for months.
Sure, but knowing just, let's say you and I, if I was doing something like that, like you're a confident person.
You and I probably would have given it at least 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
That's ages.
I'm talking like we're really getting into things from the start.
Yeah, evidently.
Well, that's probably the timeline where you start, your honeymoon phase is still there, but you're slowly getting more comfortable.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm just saying, if I was back in the day, pre-you, obviously, was dating this smoking hot chick who was super nice and like 10 out of 10, everything was going great. And then she did one weird thing like tie her shoelace incorrectly. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm sacking it off. I'd be like, hey, have you ever thought about tying your shoelace like
this?
Men
don't get icks. It's not no.
Have you checked with everyone?
I don't think men get icks. I think it's different. I think the drive to pursue, the female is too strong and they will overlook the icks in order to get what they want.
Which is?
Be creative with your mind, with your imagination.
I think you are so wrong.
I am not.
Okay, if we went back to the beginning of us and you ate with your mouth open then, I would have been an ick from the start. But you hid that
So you would have
well
left
for a
me.
while. I wouldn't have left you.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
No,
Men
you
don't
said-
get icks that are strong enough to actually impact anything.
No, but I'm just saying that
Apart from the guy at the very start of our pod.
everything else was really great, so I
who
could
didn't
see
like
past
the
it.
accent.
Yeah.
That's not an ick. That's more of like a...
I would say it's an ick.
All right. My point stands most of the time.
Yeah, it does stand most of the time.
Let's
Just
move on
really like rickety bricks.
On to the next one.
All right.
I dated a guy shorter than me by a few inches my first year of college. I thought he was the coolest and had no problem with our height difference. One day he called me super excited and asked me to guess what he just finished working on. Turns out he was in his grandpa's woodworking garage cobbling shoes with a heel so that he could wear them around me and be my height. We broke up shortly after. No pun intended.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, that's really sad.
She didn't have a problem with his height.
She didn't have a problem with it though. She liked him the way that he was, and then he
Yeah,
made
but
it a problem.
He didn't make it a problem, but people are still allowed to be insecure about something, even if you don't think it's a thing. So, like, I have friends, for example, who they don't have the best hair and they wanna get like a hair transplant, but then plenty of women like a dude with a shaved head and a beard. You know, so it's like, but if he doesn't like the shaved head and he's insecure about it and wants to do something about his hair, like that's still warranted, right? Like it doesn't matter if the woman's attracted to it if he has an issue with it. So it's the same here. Like she doesn't have an issue with the height.
I think what was weird here is that he said he did it to match her height specifically. Like,
yeah, I would have gone taller.
He's gone and done it without consulting her about it at all. And then
wait, why does he need to consult her?
Well,
That's
like,
weird.
as in, you'd think you'd bring that up and be like, hey, I'm doing this thing so we can, like, both experience this thing that I thought...
Seeing stuff at the same height.
I don't know. It is a bit weird. It's a bit weird.
I don't disagree.
I don't think it's weird that he wants to be taller. I think that the actual act of it is weird, of what he's done.
Wait, of making heeled boots?
To match her height.
Why? What if he wants to kiss her without her kneeling down?
What about what she thinks and feels? Like, wouldn't you ask someone?
Yeah, but what about this, right? You got a couple.
What if she likes shorter dudes and that's why she's dating him?
She still gets a shorter dude when he takes the shoes off.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'd find that strange, not because you're short, but because of, for some reason, it feels like a weird thing to do. That's kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like it.
I feel you, girl.
All right, I'll give you an
saying.
example. What if it's the same couple, right? And she is insecure about her nose. And he goes, oh, but I think you look really good. Like, I love your nose. It's so you. Like, I'm so attracted to you. You don't need to do anything about your nose. And then she goes, well, no, I want to get a nose job anyway so that I have a different nose. Like, you can't say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that because your partner said you got a good nose. Like, if you want to do it, do it.
But it's like saying I want a nose job so I can smell like you can.
That's valid. What's your deviated septum?
I don't like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm getting it, to be honest.
So
I'm getting the ick.
So you understand the ick there?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. You could have just told him, chuck him off. I'm happy with you. I'm happy kneeling down to smooch you.
The thing is, people want to date a confident person. That's half the attraction, right? It's like, you're confident in yourself. That's why I like you, that's what you're protruding. And then as soon as you go, oh, actually, I'm super insecure about this thing that is like, makes up a lot of me. I don't know.
Yeah, but what if his confidence just like rocketed when he chucked the heels on?
No.
Even sexier.
Weird. I just have in the back of my mind is wearing clogs all day.
Yeah, look, Jad kind of gets it. I'm, kind of get it as well. But
just buy those boots with a bit of a heel. Get some,
Yeah, so the issue was he made his own.
Harry Styles boots. All good.
All right, next story says, pettiest thing. I dated a guy just after high school and his mum had a jaw that clicked loudly every time she would eat. Like every time she would chew, click. And it used to drive me insane at the dinner table to the point where I just wanted to either slap her hard enough in the hopes that it would fix the clicky jaw or just get up and leave. Like, why chew food on that side of your mouth when you know it makes that ridiculous sound? So I ended it.
Oh.
That seems like a rough thing to end with a partner because their mum has a clicky jaw. To me, that's like, just don't go to dinner at their house. Like, don't break up with your
but you know what? I know
potential life partner for that.
I know someone who... they gargle when they talk. Like they talk and it sounds like there's always liquid at the back of their throat that they're
Like spit?
gargling. Yes, as they're speaking, it's gargle. Like every word
Can
is
you? I can't actually. I don't know what you mean. Could you give me an
I
example
can't.
or attempt?
I'm not going to do that.
Attempt.
I'm going to spit it everywhere.
Just attempt.
Okay, wait.
No one talks like that. That's a lie.
It is that, but like a slightly more muted version. That's how it sounds every time they speak. And it drives me absolutely nuts. I just want to swallow your saliva. I don't know what you're doing back there, but swallow whatever's back there. It actually gives me like a visceral reaction. My whole body tightens and I feel like I'm going to be sick because it icks me out so much. If someone's mum and I was dating them was doing that, no. So the clicking thing probably is that to her.
But you'd break up with someone over it instead of like just
If I was really frequently
maneuvering around.
If I was really frequently seeing this person and I wasn't as into the relationship as I could have been.
I feel like when you guys write in these, I always think to myself, I feel like your relationship's on the brink.
Yeah.
And then these things are like just the straw that
It
breaks the camel's
sends you
back.
over the edge, yes.
'Cause
That's how I feel
You
too.
can't be in like a loving relationship with like the person of your dreams and their mum's jaw clicks and you sack it off.
No.
Like that just can't be real.
You're not
right?
leaving the love of your life because of a mum's clicking jaw.
Yeah.
So it's always got to be like, you were probably on the outs. You needed something to send you over the edge and it did. But it was the reason at the end of the day.
Yeah. Valid. Who knows?
Okay. To be honest, I think this is also a valid reason. I was dating a guy for about 1.5 years and it was long distance for a majority of it. After a year of being together, we both decided he should move into my place and get a job close to me so we could give it a good go. I noticed he was a bit grubby during the year we lived separately, but I didn't think it was outrageously bad. Just a typical bloke kind of thing.
Sexist.
Well, I live in a very tropical climate. It's 34 degrees Celsius. And when he moved in, I noticed that he only showered once every 2 days and only in the mornings. He told me it was a down south thing and something to get used to. Thankfully, he got the hang of the showering every day. But one day I went to use the toilet and noticed the bloke had taken a poop and it was smudged all up the back of the toilet bowl and on the back of the toilet seat. And it wasn't just a little bit either. I ended it that day.
Bro, this guy's moved for you, got a new job for you,
No.
and he left a skid. He could have been in a rush.
Needing to tell a grown man to have a shower? Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty edge.
What?
Especially a morning shower. Like, you just go the
Yes.
whole day, build up gunk and
Yeah,
grime and sweat. and you-
Gunky man.
like, I don't know if I could get into bed
Gunky
without...
pooey man.
All right.
Ooh.
I don't know if I could get into bed
And
without
then he's
having
holding the
some
cutlery
form
weird.
of shower.
No, that's gross.
Yeah. Glad you got him showering once a day. I only shower once a day. I don't shower in the morning. I only shower in the evening because I shower in the evening. I go to bed. I'm clean when I wake up. And then Bob's your uncle. Shower again in the night. So that makes sense.
That's
Once a
nice
day is good.
information for you to share with people who are definitely going to judge you.
Well, I don't care.
Good.
I wouldn't share it if I cared and thought it was the wrong thing to do.
I know.
How many times do you shower a day?
Sometimes once, sometimes twice.
Oh, careful. They'll judge you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3 times. In summer, sometimes 3 times.
Is that when you do a big deuce and you just need to really clean up?
You are vile. Can I just say, like, everything you say on the pod is vile.
Yeah,
And in person.
That's my job.
And in normal life.
It's my job to rile you up.
No, I don't like being sweaty and clammy, so I have a shower. I don't like
true.
feeling...
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Moist.
Jad's a big germaphobe, guys. I don't know. You
Don't
probably
like-
can't tell through a podcast, but she is very germy.
I'm not very germy.
Oh, sorry. She's a little bit
Just
germy,
a little
guys.
bit germy.
Okay, fair enough.
I wipe down the swings at the park. I'm one of those.
She is. She's like a young Karen.
Fletcher got hand, foot, and mouth. Sorry, so now I'm a bit cautious.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's
And
nice.
I don't care. The other parents judge me. I'm like, I don't care. Judge me all you want. My kid's going to come out of this park fine, and yours is going to get the hand, foot, and mouth.
I like it. I'm saying go for it. Keep doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, do you leave someone because they left a skid?
No, it was the shower thing.
No, she
Shower-
said
I know.
she said it was
But the
shit
shower
thing.
set her off, and then the skid was like the camel, the straw.
The camel straw.
Yeah.
What can I ask what the camel straw
The
is?
straw that broke the camel's back.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you moved like interstate for me, got a new job, and then you left a little something in the toilet, I'm not sure I'd sack it off.
She gave it a crack.
She didn't. I would have just said, "Hey, that's kind of gross. Would you mind cleaning that up? Maybe just double check before you leave. You know, like I feel like these are easy conversations people have. Are they scared of talking these days?
I think it's.
Do people talk?
It's what we just said. I think it's like it's already on the brink, and that's just what it is.
Must be, because that is like, you know,
Maybe.
sometimes you're in a rush. You walk, you flush, you don't look, you leave.
No,
There could be something there.
maybe it was the allure of the person that you didn't actually know that well that lived overseas that made them more attractive. And then once they lived with you, you were like, oh, you're a bit smelly and I actually don't like you that much. You know what I mean?
That is definitely possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, a little bit petty, but each their own.
All
right. Petty reason to break up incoming. No judgment. I was quite young and immature and not proud of this at all. I was dating this guy for 4 to 5 months. As normal, we went out to eat together often, but he kept taking food off my plate. It was fine, little things like chips or the odd cucumber, but it became increasingly annoying. And then one day he went to get ice cream, which I didn't even feel like. He wanted ice cream and I had a mad craving for a brownie. So we got what each of us wanted. This guy had the audacity to pick off a piece of my fucking brownie. And that was it. I told him that he needs to learn self-control and not take what is off other people's. Mind you, I broke up with him at the Melbourne show, and I shit you not, he cried and ran off like a little kid, which now, in hindsight, is worse than taking my brownie. Anyway, that's it. That's what happened.
I feel you. I hate when people do that without asking.
Yeah.
It's a bit different when you're married and someone's grabbing a chip. But like if you're dating and someone's just taking your food without saying, hey, can I try some? I don't like that. This plate is my personal space and you've just invaded it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But you're also the worst sharer on the planet, so it's not really a good example. But
I think you should ask always.
I don't disagree, especially if you're dating. But that being said, these are what I'm saying, is I feel like people just don't communicate. If you said he did all this stuff, he took cucumbers and chips off my plate, when it starts, just go, yo, Steve.
Maybe did,
don't do that.
And he just kept doing it.
Maybe. Seems unlikely, though. So he might have thought it was okay, you know, because he did it and she didn't say anything, or she might have left food and he picked at it. Who knows? But if you don't like something in a relationship, tell someone, and then you won't get to this stage where they keep like portraying behavior that you don't like.
But sometimes you tell them and they keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, that's also an option. Why, are you talking about yourself here? Because I tell you to chew with your mouth closed all the time. It doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, I get it, annoying, but I don't know. I'm a big advocate of like maybe just telling people that these things annoy you before it gets to the stage of leaving. Because, you know, I feel like you never know. This could have been your person if he kept his hands to himself.
Nah, not if he ran away like that at the show.
Where he was upset that he lost the chick that he liked.
He ran.
Yeah, he was upset.
You can walk.
Oh, so if he walked and cried, it would have been fine.
You can walk and cry.
You're a tough critic. I'll tell you that much.
No, you're being a tough critic today.
All right, next story.
Okay, this one says, I was dating a guy through the winter, so he was always wearing enclosed shoes or socks. When the weather started warming and I got a look at his feet, I broke up with him.
I mean...
How bad were the feet?
Yeah, they got to be like hobbit feet if you're leaving. But
Gotta be bad. I would say orc feet.
Yeah. I mean, your feet? Like, if I had a foot fetish, we wouldn't have got to date too.
Can you stop talking about my feet, like, on the pod? Because people have gone and commented, like, lol, look at your toes, like, after we talk.
That is the best result ever.
It's a bad result for me.
Mate, I'm spurring
I've been trying to
engagement for
hide
you.
them for years.
Yeah, and it
And
does
I've been
fine.
doing all right. I feel like I've been getting by. There's the occasional comment about my toenails.
Yeah.
And I ignore them.
I mean, I
Guys,
hate
my
to
feet
say I
aren't
get it.
that bad. My toenails just fell off 15 years ago. They've never grown back properly. Okay, can we move on?
Bro, we tried to. You kept talking about your toe.
It's all right. I just feel like I need to clear that up so people don't think that I just don't take care of my toes very well.
Yeah, I don't know. Something got into the shoe ages ago and built up a layer of fungus or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's something happened, guys. But yeah, I don't know. Breaking up with a guy because he has bad feet, whatever. If you don't want to look at his feet, and maybe she had a foot fetish, who knows, and didn't want to, tuck into those little puppies.
How do you not see someone's toes that whole time?
Yeah, don't you like go to? I mean, people wear socks to bed, but you shower together, and I don't know if you're dating someone. Who knows?
All through the winter, you didn't see his feet once.
Yeah, who knows? But
maybe they were just doing outside dates.
I mean,
slow.
Yeah, is it petty? Probably a little bit.
Yeah,
could he get it? What's it called? A mani or petty or something? Which one's which?
Could get a whole new foot.
Which one's which?
Petty's the foot.
Yeah, go get him a petty for his birthday or something, and then see if that helps,
That's
and then
suggestive,
break
isn't
up with
it?
him if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, he might not know he has heinous feet. He might just think it's a nice gesture.
All right, next one.
All right. Fuck, she didn't get much, did she? Sorry, can't help there.
Well, it's not advice, is it? It's just a story.
All right, next one says, I left a guy because he was celiac. I tried to get past it, but the chances of having kids with celiac and always having to eat gluten-free because it's easier, I couldn't do it. Pasta is life. I love pasta and bread. Great guy, great looking, great family, shit genetics.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, I get it though.
Well,
Imagine
we
you
got a
couldn't
peanut
eat-
baby because of you.
Imagine, what do you mean because of me?
My family doesn't have peanut things,
Neither does mine. I don't know where he got it from.
but it's somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere down the Turkish
Down the
Ottoman
line, somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of get that one. Like, if you're going to pass that on to your kids and then there's going to be a bread-free house, I would be like, not for me.
Yeah, that's a hard
And
one.
a pasta-free house and a biscuit-free house.
Is
and
celiac also the one where
flavor-free house,
is
essentially.
celiac you're allergic, like proper
Yeah,
allergy?
I think you have like proper reactions.
That's hard versus
Yeah.
just intolerant.
I dare say I get that because that is, you're going to highly likely pass that on to your kids. So
But if they were the perfect person,
it sucks that he was a great guy, good-looking,
Yeah.
great family. Like, it would have been better if he didn't really have those things. And
I
then he
need
could have
to
just
know-
sacked it off.
Yeah, I need to know. Did she tell him that was the reason?
Probably not. But she does seem quite harsh with her words. Like, she's straight to the point here. Like, this was just like full stop. Great guy, good looking, great family, shit genetics. So
Maybe
she
did tell
told him.
Yeah, maybe she said fix your allergies.
Imagine she used that line. She said, look, Bob, you're a great guy, good looking, great family. You got shit genetics. I got to go.
That's crazy.
Possible, highly improbable. I dare say that one's pretty fair. I would have done the same.
I wonder how many people think that far into the future when they're dating someone. Like when I was dating you, I didn't think like what genes is he going to pass on to our kids?
I thought about it a little bit.
Oh.
Like,
What
I
did
was
you
like,
think?
if we have a girl, she's definitely going to have a mustache.
Yeah.
So
And
that
if
was
we have a
like,
boy, he's not getting shit from you, that's for sure.
what do you mean?
He's just getting patches of hair.
Yeah, it's true, but no, I'm
Patches
joking.
of
I
hair on
don't.
the
I
face.
didn't really think about it, but I don't think people don't think about that stuff. I think they do.
Sure.
I think they do. It's a consideration.
I just thought you'd be a good dad.
Appreciate that. Thought you'd be a good mum.
No, you're just saying that.
I did though. I know. I can see how maternal you were before
That's nice.
because you're very caring, and you put me first. Okay.
I don't know
next
how
one.
to take compliments from you. I'm better at taking criticism.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're like the worst person at taking even constructive criticism.
What's wrong with you? No, I'm not.
Oh, here we go. And tick, point proof. All right, next. Next story.
Right, pettiest reason I've ever left a relationship. I was chewing gum at my boyfriend at the time's house and joked around by trying to put it in his hand. Didn't actually do it. He took the gum from me and stuck it on top of my head and gave me a noogie so all my hair got caught up in it. I went to the freezer to get ice because apparently that's how you're supposed to get it out. It didn't. So I ended up throwing ice at him and never spoke to him again. We were dating for 2 years. 2 years!
Huge.
And the gum ice breakup is what does it.
Gum in the hair.
Gum in the hair's nasty.
Yeah, that feels like.
Did he
maybe
just
they-
not know how much of a bitch that is to get out of your hair? Like, do you think he was oblivious and thought it would just like be a bit sticky and annoying?
Yeah, I mean that's something people would definitely not know.
Gum
How
does
many-
not come out of hair.
How many people have gum in hair? I don't think it's a regular occurrence. but
Women
yeah.
would probably experience that a bit more growing up, maybe.
That is tough. Imagine you got this great relationship and then you got to tell your friends you broke up and they go, why? And you go, dickhead, put gum in my hair.
I
And
reckon
you go,
most
Really?
of the chicks would go, oh, okay, yeah, all good. I got it.
Yeah.
That's really
It's-
rough.
It is an interesting one.
But
And
the noogie as well. Like, if you noogied me, that would send me over the edge. Like,
noogie without the gum.
I can't imagine you putting me in a headlock and then noogieing me, like, with the gums there as well. Like, that's a lot to take on.
Yeah. It sounds like you guys could have been siblings.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
it sounds a bit like
double check your family tree.
you entered sibling status after that 2 years.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, but I do understand the frustration, and perhaps I don't know, permanent
get it.
decision based on a temporary emotion.
Nah,
Who
I get
knows? But yeah, Jad gets it. I get it as well.
It was
That's
time to go.
that's pretty annoying. But 2 years down the drain, that's got to hurt.
Yeah.
Guys, that's all we have for you for your little petty breakup stories.
Thanks for writing in. They were awesome.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing. And as always, we do have plenty more in the bank. So if you did enjoy the episode and you want us to run it back, do let us know in the comments. And let's get into our Ask Mum and Dad. All right. Says, Hey guys, I have a question I'd really appreciate your advice with, especially since you guys got together after a breakup. So for some context, my boyfriend and I's timeline is slightly different. We dated for 3 months, then were proper boyfriend-girlfriend for 3 months, and then we broken up for 3 months before getting back together. We broke up because he had started feeling anxious about our relationship and said something didn't seem right. As you can imagine, it was an incredibly difficult thing for me to accept at the time. We didn't speak for a month or so, but then saw each other occasionally to hang out or hook up, but while we weren't together. Bad, I know. Jad's shaking her head. He even came to my dad's birthday whilst we were broken up. No, I did not invite him. My dad did. Anyway, that went on for over a month, and eventually I asked the question whether or not he was seeing other people. I had a brief situationship with someone else in this time, but was mainly doing it to distract myself. I was hurt when I found out that he had slept with 2 people and been talking to others. While we had a massive falling out, I thought I would never see him again, but then 2 days later, he messaged me saying he missed me and didn't want anyone else. He later admitted that he only did what he did to try and avoid messaging me. We'd been together basically since then, even though I was hesitant at first, and he has been the most loving, attentive, and committed partner I could ask for, and seems to have grown so much since we were first together. I feel bad because I have brought up what he did with other people and just things from the past multiple times because I find it hard to accept and want reassurance, which he always does give me, but I can tell it takes a toll on him most of the time when I bring it up. Wondering if you guys have any advice for me on leaving the past behind, especially since you guys reconnected after a breakup. Was your first year back together a little more complicated because of what had happened when you were apart?
There were elements of that, but because we had a weird talking stage before we properly got back together. Like we were talking, we'd seen each other, then stopped seeing each other, we're talking, not talking, and then there was kind of like an element of that going on as well. So we did experience this actually. And the one thing that helped me actually is we were back together and happy, and the same thing was happening. Like you were assuring me whenever I needed assurance, if I needed it, which was amazing and helped a lot. But I also spoke to a friend who basically said to me, like, do you think you'll forgive him eventually? And I said, yeah, like I do already. And she kind of just said, well, there's your answer. Like, you've already forgiven him. It's just, you need to just let it go now. Like, you need to understand that if you want to move forward, you can't keep coming back to this thing because it's in the past and it's not going to serve you guys moving forward. So she said, you know you're going to get there. You're kind of already there if you acknowledge you're going to get there. So just move on from it now. And I did. And honestly, that was the last of it. And it made me feel really good. It's like I just made a decision in that moment to leave everything in the past and move forward and understand that I liked the person that you really, like, I liked who I was spending time with, and I wanted to spend more time with you, and I didn't want to let it impact our future anymore. So yeah, that helped me a lot, is kind of coming to that realization. And I guess, yeah, the question of, do you think you'll get there eventually? And me going yes meant that I'd actually already accepted that in a way.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're sort of there as well, because you said that he's grown up and stuff, which is, you know, obviously our timeline was a little bit different. Like we dated for a bit, then split up for 2.5 years, then got back together. So there's probably, I don't know, a little bit more time for growth in that period. It sounds like you guys only split up for 3 months. So, I mean, hopefully he's, grown up, I guess. But, I would say that it's a tricky one, but at the same time, you weren't together, and you even mentioned in your little thing that you had a situationship with someone as well. So you got to think that, you know, would it be fair for him to bring up that situationship and hold that against you and be constantly asking you for reassurance? And then when you do give it to him questioning it and going back on it, because if you can say that that little situationship meant nothing and you want to be with him, then you should give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess, and allow him to, I guess, you know, say the same thing back to you. And if you trust him and, you know, you believe him, then I guess you have to do what Jad said and look forward and give him the benefit of the doubt with it. But yeah, it sounds like there were no real like lines crossed other than the fact that you would have preferred that he didn't, but I'm sure that he would have preferred if you didn't as well, because, you know, it's always a tricky thing to think about, like your partner that you want to be with being with someone else. It's a tough concept. Even like, you know, I think they call it like there's People can feel that about like partners in the past before they even met their partner, you know. So let alone being in a break period and having a little fling with someone, of course that's gonna, you know, feel a little bit of a touchy subject. But yeah, I think you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. And if you could have the situationship and it mean nothing and get over it, then you have to take his word that he's the same.
Yeah, I agree. Good luck.
There it is. Yeah, all the best. Sounds like you guys got a good thing going, so keep rolling and just know that you can come back together and things can work out. We live.
And if he tries to leave you again because he's anxious, sorry.
Yeah, just say, look, unfortunately,
suck it off. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you get one anxiety leave.
I'm nervous. No.
About what?
About what? Yeah. Be nervous about something else.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Great advice. Guys, that's all we have for you this week on Mad About You. We hope you're enjoying the episodes. And for those loyal listeners who come back each week, it means a lot. If you do want to leave us a review, we would appreciate it. And we look forward to chatting to you next week. And guys, if you had anything that you wanted us to chat about in particular, if you had any topics, things going on.
What do you want to hear about?
You wanted to hear about, hear our takes on, or get, listeners' takes on, feel free to write them in. Feel free to write them in, as we're always looking for fun things to chat about and always love hearing from you guys. So until next week,
we'll see you soon.
Bye.